I better not say that. I've created enough. I had a great line for you, but I'm wanted in too many countries.
Bobby Knight there, the legendary, beloved, and often controversial Indiana University basketball coach, of course. While notoriously prickly, you could also sprinkle in some sarcasm. He had a deep mutual respect and rapport with our anchor, Mike Ahern. For this week's WISHstory, celebrating our 70th anniversary, we sit one-on-one in an interview between the biggest name in local television and the biggest name in college basketball.
In preparing for this interview, I talked to several really rabid IU fans, people who like you and like your program. And I asked them what they admired most about your work here and what bothers them.
And Mike had a very good connection. He got along well with Coach Knight. For Mike to use that kind of connection that he had to get Bob Knight to participate was massively big.
They like the fact you brought discipline to this program, that you have a set of rules, these kids have to work by them. But they wonder if you're setting that same kind of example yourself, off and on the court.
Well, just look at what I do, Mike. Has there ever been any hint of scandal in our basketball program relative to cheating, relative to breaking rules? That takes a disciplined person to make sure a program is like that. Have I ever been picked up for DWI or anything like that?
People are talking about people. I hear them whisper. You won't believe it.
We've not allowed our players to eat since the Purdue game on Sunday, and we've only allowed them to sleep 2 hours a night.
Let's give them something to talk about.
It was a big deal. I mean, getting access to Coach Knight and him wanting you and allowing you to be there was a big deal. He's a national figure. There was a lot of thought put into it, lights, cameras, action, multi-camera, shoot.
How difficult, though, is it for you to recruit to a program like yours? You have a disciplined program here, and that's a very undisciplined world out there at times.
Mike, I've said since I've been here that we're not for every kid. There are a lot of kids that have played very well for us and have really wanted to come here. We've just narrowed the field somewhat.
So you're not bothered by the criticism sometimes that you're in one gear and the rest of the world is in another gear?
No. I mean, I'm in fact, in some cases, I'm glad when I look at the rest of the world that my gear is kind of stuck where it is.
How many times have we heard Coach Knight say that the first few minutes of the second half are probably the most important to a game, and that was certainly the case with this one.
And Mike was not the kind of guy, he wasn't a sports guy that would have to be on the front lines of getting Coach mad if you ask him the wrong question.
Today you're a Big Ten champion. Can you go back and capsulize a rather unique basketball season?
The coach did not like stupid questions. If you ask him a stupid question about basketball, I remember he would let you know he thought it was a stupid question.
So now I'll talk to you that way. How would that be? Well, now, how would you be able to underestimate a team that's undefeated? I mean, you must have an IQ of about 11 if you do that. I don't think I have any players with an IQ of 11. How the hell do I know? If I knew that, I wouldn't be screwing around here today. I'd be doing something else. I have no idea.
Did you say something to him in the locker room?
I told him Bear his head out of his But that was a brilliant piece of coaching.
Mike could have more of a conversation with him, a congenial kind of conversation with him. I think that's what worked.
I don't think I've ever met anybody in all the years I've been doing this who engenders so much praise on the one hand and animosity on the other. Let me ask you a question I don't think you've ever been asked before. If you were an IU basketball fan and you know Bob Knight the way you know Bob Knight, would you love him or hate him?
No, I think he was a really good guy. I think he's a guy that's honest and a guy that goes about doing the job the best way he knows how. Now, you got to keep one thing in mind.
What would bother you about him, though? What would bother you about him?
Well, I think he's probably sometimes a little bit too quick. Like I've told you, I said I don't look back on everything I've done on this basketball floor and say that it was the right thing to do at that time.
15,
Mike had a lot of respect. He was kind of like the, Walter Cronkite of, Indianapolis for a long time. And I think, he was a respected journalist, and he is a respected journalist. I think Coach Knight knew that.
I have a private theory about you and the media. I think you love us. I think that we give you the attention you want, and you give us the good copy we need, and everybody comes out ahead.
No, I don't really like the media, and there are some people in the media that I really respect. Obviously, you're one of them, or I wouldn't be here today. if I'm portrayed in a certain way in the media by somebody that's never talked to me, doesn't like me for whatever reason, then now I meet you, your wife, and your son. And I can assure you that you're going to go away with a different opinion of me, sitting down and talking to me for 2 hours, and you're going to say, well, what the hell does this guy know that wrote that story?
Coach just knew that Mike was a good guy. He wasn't there to ask him a gotcha question. He wasn't there to, nail him or embarrass him or ask him a stupid question.
If I were to say anything, it was probably excellent coaching. I think it was my game plan.
Mike Ahern, Wish TV, News 8.
As you can imagine, we found that interview deep down in our archives. Originally aired in the middle of February in the year 2000. That was just 1 month before the CNN Sports Illustrated joint report that led to Knight saying goodbye to IU just months later. If you'd like to watch the entire interview, just grab your phone right now, scan that QR code you see on your screen. That'll take you to wishtv.com, where you can find our 70th anniversary page. You can see a follow-up report and also see a 90s interview with Landon Turner and Ray Tolbert discussing their 1981 victory. Phil, over to you.